Since 1995, the National Council on Substance Abuse has been fulfilling its mandate of reducing the demand for narcotic drugs through specially designed community-based projects.
The National Council on Substance Abuse is the government agency that has overall responsibility and oversight for all drug demand reduction activities in Barbados. It functions under the auspices of the Ministry of Home Affairs. Within our mandate, we have responsibility for achieving our objective of reducing drug abuse by using a number of methods. And we focus on, or I should say, the components of drug demand reduction include initiatives that are geared towards prevention, and then there are those initiatives that are geared towards treatment. Also within our mandate is a responsibility to advise the relevant minister on the policies and programs that should be adopted to effect our overall objective of drug demand reduction. Let me say up front that the National Council on Substance Abuse does not itself execute any treatment projects or programs or undertake any treatment modalities. Even though we have oversight for such initiatives, we ourselves as an agency do not undertake them. So if a person is in need of treatment and rehabilitation, they will be referred by us to one of the other agencies which specialize in treatment and rehabilitation. Agencies such as Verdun House, CASA, Teen Challenge, the Drug Education and Counseling Services, and NCPAD. So those are the main agencies that come to mind that can execute, and of course the psychiatric hospital.
A crucial strategy in reducing the demand for drugs involves targeting children as well as adults. This is the job of the NCSA's program and drug education officers.
We aim to help kids understand their feelings and to build a measure of self-esteem, along with communication skills, helping them to enhance how they communicate messages, how they interpret messages, because it's very important when delivering appropriate drug education that they understand what actual values and concepts we're trying to convey. Also in terms of interaction, personal as well as with larger groups, I think it's vital. So it's basically skills that they can take to the school setting, to the family setting, and in the wider community, especially when they go on to become adults and go into the working world.
You understand the importance of having a high regard for yourselves. You also understand that there's something called negative self-esteem and positive self-esteem, and that certainly there are many advantages that can be derived from us having or developing a positive view or value of ourselves.
My name is Siobhan Carving, and I'm a Frank person. I can't dance and I can't sing, and I can't turn in class and I'm proud of myself.
I also stress the importance of goals. Young people setting goals, whether short-term or long-term.
As a drug education officer at the primary school level, Wendy Greenidge utilizes stimulating educational materials for children, parents, and teachers.
If I went here smoking, would it have any effect on you all?
Yes.
Tell me how.
It can give me an asthma attack.
At the end of the sessions, each child is presented with a certificate.
Dr. Mario, congratulations.
The National Council on Substance Abuse has introduced a new target group into the mix. The message against substance abuse is now reaching the community of young persons with disabilities.
After working with the deaf for 2 years, a lot of their issues, they started to open up to me, and they started to share about a lot of the different issues that they are experiencing, whether in terms of substance abuse, work related, and so forth. And in hearing these different issues, they decided, well, I had to expand the program to more than just the school and to persons over 25. Then I had persons that were over 25 start coming and saying, hey, we hear about this workshop and we want information too. So then this year I sat with some children, I sat with another deaf person, I sat with some of the teachers from Irvin Wilson School and my group at the Irvin Wilson School, and they asked them to tell me what is going on with you, what is the information you're like out there. We need a concept, we need something. And out of that, we came up with the theme, stop, think, and choose. Don't just let persons tell you this is the information, this is what you need to do, or this is how it's going to work. But anytime, even if it's me and I'm giving you information, you know, take the information but go and research for yourself. Think about it and then find out what are your options. And you choose what is best for you. And then out of that, then I sat with with 3 other deaf persons, and they came up with the artwork for the whole campaign. So that's how basically it derived.
It may come as a surprise that substance abuse is posing problems among the deaf and hearing impaired.
I would say that it is an issue like with all other populations. Unfortunately, there are no statistics to hand that say, well, 10% or 20%. However, by just doing needs assessment, I realized that it is a big problem as it relates to the alcohol abuse, especially amongst the hearing impaired, because they may use it and mix it with, say, the already medication they may be using, unaware of the harmful effects they are having on them. They may be using it as a social gathering. And then I had reports of persons even teaching them how to drink, so that, you know, you drink a little at a time so that they get tolerated, so the body can start tolerating the alcohol so they can be drinking stronger drinks. So we were made aware of the impact it's having on them, on their bodies. The goal of each workshop and the program overall is to raise the awareness amongst the hearing impaired, to raise the knowledge on the various topics, on each drug, and the impact it has on them as an individual, on their families, on the community, at school, the government as a whole. And I try to always connect them to the government in terms of policy, to let them know, you may think that it is not my business that my friend is abusing alcohol, but I show them that your friend using alcohol means then they're going to end up in rehab or in prison, which means that it's taxes that have to be used. And those taxes, I mean, if that is the amount of tax that have to be going to funnel there, it is less money that will be used for other programmings and other things that may have very well impact you. So everything is connected, and I try to let them know, raise awareness that it is your business. Drug use and drug abuse is everyone's business. It's not that it's he business or that it's she business. It is my business as well. It is your business. So I try to raise that awareness. I try to get them in the mode of advocacy to encourage each other to stay healthy and live healthy lives.
The National Council on Substance Abuse is constantly working towards new initiatives in the ongoing problem of substance abuse. It will be working side by side with an international agency to be part of the implementation of a regional venture.
We do a lot of work with an agency called the Inter-American Drug Abuse Control Commission, better known as CCAD. And we will be undertaking some new projects with their assistance. So they often give us quite a bit of tangible assistance and non-tangible assistance. But we will be looking to be part of a region-wide Caribbean training and certification program for drug prevention and treatment personnel. And the NCSA would be the main driver of that initiative in Barbados.
The NCSA will continue to spread the message against substance abuse for the promotion of healthy and productive lifestyles.
We've made tremendous strides. I know persons would often say, but we're losing the fight. We're losing the fight for drugs. Well, I don't think it should be seen as a fight. and simply because we need to understand the dynamics associated with drug use, drug abuse, drug addiction. And also, one is unable to measure how many lives have been saved by the various initiatives and interventions that we have made over the years. No one is going to necessarily be placed on the front page of a newspaper to say, oh, I heard one of NCSA's officers 6 years ago outlining the dangers associated with alcohol and the way it impacts my body and my brain, and from that time I knew within myself that I would never ever be a user or abuser of alcohol. You're not going to hear that story. You would hear the stories of those who basically, or you'll be aware of the stories of those who have been severely affected by drug use. So I don't know how we actually measure this loss of fight. But I would say that we have to understand that it's not a one-shot. It's really not a one-shot situation. It's nothing that you can basically easily measure. We know that too because we have a research department within the National Council on Substance Abuse, and we have conducted a number of studies that show prevalence among certain age groups, and we also would measure basically which drugs are being used more and more and by whom. And so we use that information to basically inform our programming. So things are happening. As I said, more can always be done, but I would say that we're really doing our best given our limited human resources.